Hi, everybody. My name is Ben. I'd like to say especially hello to Eli, who's a kindergartner in one of the classes. Um, he's my son. I'm here to talk to you today about one of the saints of the Catholic tradition. His name is Martin de Porres. So, why are we talking about him? Well, this month is a month when our country is celebrating people who came to the United States from Africa or whose ancestors did, right? Their parents, their grandparents. Um, and then in the church, we always celebrate people who lived holy lives. And we call many of these people saints because we know that they are in heaven with God and they pray for us there. And not only that, they left us some hints about how we can do that too. So those hints are in their lives, in the ways that they lived. Uh, the saint then that we're going to talk about had a parent who came from Africa, and he's a saint. His name is Saint Martin de Porres. Uh, this is one picture that someone drew of him, but in our church, somebody in our parish drew a picture of him. Aaron Wee is the artist for this image that you can find in the gathering space in the Nativity of Mary Church. And I'll say a little bit more about the image at the end here. Now, we live up there at that blue dot at the top of the screen there. That's Minnesota. Martin lived down at the bottom of the screen in the little part of the map that says Peru. I don't know if you can read Peru, but it's down there. The city that he's from was called Lima, Peru. That red dot there on the map marks the city where he was from. He had a sister, and his parents were named Ana Velasquez and Don Juan de Porres. His mother was from Africa and maybe from some people in South America too. And his father was from Spain. Now, his father was very important, at least according to the people who lived in the town, because he was in charge of a lot of things. But unfortunately, his father kind of made some bad choices and actually decided that he didn't want to take care of Martin and his family. So that meant that he kind of just left. And that meant that Martin's mom, Anna, had to raise Martin and his sister by herself. As Martin grew up, though, he felt called to help other people. He wanted to help other people out. And to do that, he thought he should join something called a religious order, like the sisters, right? They come and visit you from time to time. Unfortunately, the religious orders in his town, he went to them and asked if he could join them, and they said no, even though they let other people in, right? They didn't let him join. And it might make sense, right, if Martin was angry that they didn't let him join. But instead of just running away, Martin decided, you know what, I'm just going to keep asking. And so he went to a bunch of different places to ask a bunch of different other religious orders. And eventually, one of them said, you can join us and you can serve the poor with us. But they said, we're only going to let you wear our clothes. We're not going to actually let you join and be exactly just like the rest of us. So they still weren't like super, super nice. They were just kind of nicer. Now, when Martin joined them, when they let him in, he decided that he was going to found a place called an orphanage that was for other kids whose parents had either left them or whose parents maybe weren't alive anymore. And he also worked in the hospital of his community called a monastery. This is the place where he was when he was growing up, or when he was, in his monastery. And he was known for healing people. He would pray to God, and sometimes when he prayed for those people, they would get better all of a sudden. That's called a miracle, right? When God helps somebody, when somebody prays. More than anything, though, he wanted to help everybody the same, and he wanted to love everybody the same, even if they weren't nice back to him. And he died somewhere in the 1570s. It might say on there somewhere, but so he died a long time ago. 1630s. Now, in the picture that we have in the church that looks like this, right, there's a couple of hints in the image here about how Martin tried to be holy in his life. So in his hand, he has a cross, right? And Jesus heals everybody. So we turn to Jesus when we need to be healed. And Martin prayed to Jesus when he wanted other people to be healed. And God answered Martin's prayers for healing for other people. Martin also, right, was a member of a group called the Dominicans. So the robes that he's wearing are the robes of the Dominicans. And that's what another Dominican looks like. Now, if you want to learn more about Martin, there are books that have been written about him. One book is called The Rose in the Desert. This is the title or the cover of the book. And you might ask some of your parents to learn more about them or something. But I also have a couple of questions that I think it would be good for you all to think about as a group about Martin's life. So I'm going to say a couple questions, and then your teacher can pause the video between the questions for you to have a chance to talk about them. So the first question reminds me of some of the things that happened in Martin's life. In Martin's life, not everybody was always nice to him, right? Some people they didn't want him to join those groups, the religious orders. So I wanted to ask you a question like this. Has anyone ever been mean to you because they thought maybe you were different from them? And how did that feel? Another question that you might ask here is, what are some things that you have done that you remember doing when someone was mean to you? So you can pause the video there if you'd like. And another question then, when we think about Martin after that, is what did he do when people were mean to him? What do you think about that one? Another question, what could you do in your life to make sure that you're being fair to the people around you? So those are some of the things that we can learn from Martin and his life. And I hope that we can all ask for St. Martin de Porres to pray for us, because he's in heaven trying to help us live better lives too. Thank you.